from Virginia.
Hey, Howard West from Virginia. Welcome to the call.
Virginia.
Charlie's there. Hello, Charlie.
Hello.
I think that's Charlie. He's out there. Charlie, are you out there? I hear a faint noise.
Yeah, you're so quiet.
I know. Are you there, Charlie? Oh,
Yeah, I'm always.
Oh, Charlie's here. Good.
Hi.
You've got a weaker, phone going. Okay, cool.
Hi, Digger and Charlie. Mary from Mississippi.
John, Mary, you're in the house. Welcome to the call.
Hey, Mary.
Hi. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Doretha from Alabama.
Rita, welcome to the call.
Hi, Doretha.
Thank you. Hello, Mary.
Hi.
This is Randy in Los Angeles.
Randy, welcome to the call.
Randy.
Thank you.
Bob from New Jersey.
Welcome, Bob from New Jersey. Welcome to the call.
Andrea.
Andrea.
Welcome to the call.
Lily Craig from Bloomsburg.
Welcome to the call. You with us?
Hey, Steve. This is Paul from Florida.
Nice to be with
Hello,
you.
Paul. Welcome.
Hey, Paul.
Well,
Good to hear you.
Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hey.
Hey, Paul. It's just Patty.
Hey, Patty. Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling wonderful, actually.
That's great.
That's
Great. Did you listen to our recording?
Yes, she did. She thanked us. Very good.
Yes, I was getting around to calling you, Kay, but my computer's been under repair all day, and I've been on the phone with them.
That's
Good
okay.
evening, Digger, Charlie, K. Walter, Zahn from California.
Zahn Walter, you're in the house.
Hi, John Walter.
It's Dennis Watson.
Hi, Walter.
You know, in time, we're going to stop laughing when we call each other Zahns. That's how we go. We're integrated. It's interesting.
You got that.
It's still uncomfortable for us to call ourselves Zahns. That's okay.
Not
It's
me.
part of our program. Not me either, but it's okay. We'll get over it. We'll get over it.
Hi, guys. It's
How about his colors?
John, Judith,
Hi,
welcome to the call.
Hi, Judith.
Welcome to the call.
Scholars. You're all scholars.
Welcome to the call.
Good evening. Barbara Zahn is on.
John,
Hi, Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you. I love it. It's Dennis from Minnesota.
Hey, John, Judith, you're in the house. Welcome to the call.
The judge from ATL, too.
Jean,
Where?
John,
That's
Jean.
good.
She can dance on air, John.
I bet.
Daniel from California.
Hey, welcome to the call, John, in California. Glad you're with us.
I'm from Maxwell from Michigan.
Michigan. John, you're in the house.
Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome to the call.
You're in the house.
Right.
Well,
Thank you.
All the Johns are with us.
Hey, Albert Duarte from St. Louis, Missouri.
Missouri, you're in the house, John. Welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Wallace is proud of all the Johns. We're in here. Good job. I feel his I-ness around us.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Hello, Steve.
Hello, who's that?
Hector from Texas.
Hey, John Hector.
Hey,
how's it going?
The recording started.
Welcome to the call. We're starting in 3 minutes, John. So get ready. Get pens and paper.
Hello, Victor from Chicago.
Welcome to the call, John. Hello, John.
Good evening, fellow Zahn. This is Don Jim from Indiana.
Hey, Indiana.
Good evening.
Victor from Chicago.
Hey, from Chicago. Is that you're in the house, John? California, you're in the house, John.
Hello, this is Ed Wallace from Florida.
John
Hi,
Wallace,
Ed.
you're in the
Hi,
house.
There we go.
Welcome, fellow John. Welcome to the call, John. All right.
And this is Red Carr from Big Spring, Texas.
Hey, Rick, welcome to the call. That's fellow John. Who else is with us?
Tom White
Welcome to the call.
from
Loving it.
Maryville, Indiana.
Indiana, with fellow John. Hello.
baby.
Good to have you with us.
Jim Cook from Crown Point, Indiana.
John, Jim, glad to have you with us.
Mary Allen from Florida.
John, Mary, hello. Welcome to the
Hey.
call.
Thank you.
Welcome. Who else?
Yeah,
is
Victor
there?
from Chicago. All guys.
Hey, John, you're in town from Chicago. Glad you're with us. Thank you.
Hi,
Who else?
Steve. This is Maria from Irving, Texas.
Hey, John Maria, how's it going?
Hi, Steve.
Hi. Who is it? Hello. house? What other Zons are in the house?
Hello, Steve.
Hey, Zon, how you doing?
Hey, Steve, this is Terry from Zephyr Hills, Florida.
Hey, Zon Cherry, welcome to the call. Zon and Fred is on already. Welcome to the call.
Hello, John DeWolf from Mississippi.
You're in the house. Hey, Zon.
Thank you.
Welcome to the call. Miles, Don Miles, you're in the house. Welcome. Hi, guys, welcome. Don, you're in the house. Welcome. Glad you're with us. Who else is with us, fellow Don? Hi.
Hi, this is Big V, and you kind of have to make your own judgment on the Zon part. That's up to you whether you agree with it or not. I'm at question with it, personally. Personally, I'm at question with it, and that's just me. It is Thursday night. It is about 5:01. This call will get started in about 2 minutes. So this is just interaction that you guys are hearing for the past couple minutes. So welcome aboard, and let's go back to the Thursday evening call, which is called the lead call, or yeah, it's called the lead call. It's dealing with the Franco Wallace material. All right, here we go. Enjoy.
Muted.
Thank you.
Start it now.
I like it. Thank you, Zon Charlie. I appreciate that. Welcome, Zons. This is Digger Fagan. Zon Digger Fagan. Welcome to the call. This is the Franco Wallace call. This is the league call. And I want to welcome all of you. For any new members who have been here for the first time, a big hearty Neil think welcome. You'll understand Zon as we go forward. For our other Zons, and you are a Zon, by the way, for our other Zons, welcome. We have an important call tonight in the sense that we're going to say becoming Zons. And now that we're becoming Zons, what do we do with it? What does it mean? I decided to go into tonight's class for a reason. I am very much disgusted by the political realm that's going on. I don't care if you like Kavanaugh. I don't care if you don't like it. I feel terrible about women's issues. But again, that's political. What I did is I went back into the literature. Every time I get a little bit frustrated out of our AC world, I go back to the literature. And you know what Dr. Wallace says to us? Let it go. And I really thought he was talking to me. He's saying to me, Digger, why are you putting energy into that garbage? You are going to the sea of you. Why aren't you focusing on that? And you know something? Dr. Wallace is right. Why am I focusing on the political garbage that's going on this week and today? It's going to happen because the AC world is going to destroy it. That's what they do. And why am I worrying about whether Kavanaugh gets elected or not, or gets appointed or not? It is what it is in the AC world. They're all humanoids anyway. So why am I focusing on any of this garbage, you know? And Dr. Wallace says it. Stop focusing on the garbage. Focus on your journey to the sea of you. You know, that meant a lot to me. I read that today. Because I'll tell you, I was frustrated this afternoon around noon because I got myself wrapped up, which I shouldn't have done. I got what's going on. And I started saying, I got to get out of this mindset. What is going on? And I picked up the literature. And I just started reading. And I said, you know, I am a Zon. And I'm becoming a Zon. I may not be fully there, but I'm on my way. So I went to the section on boundless prosperity, which is our program tonight. How do you like that? Which is the cyberspace section that we've been on all along, and I'm actually working on, just so you know, I'm focusing on chapter 2. Actually, it's the end of chapter 1. It says on the beginning, I'm becoming Zon. It's at the very last section, and then we're going into chapter 2, your journey to Zon power. And I just started reading. It says becoming Zon. And it tells us about this terrible AC world, how really bad it is. And Dr. Wallace wrote this years ago. And yet it's so current today. I have a feeling, guys, and everybody, Dr. Wallace lived in 2018, 2016, 2017. I believe in 1995, 96, he was living today. He took his creativity to 20 years ahead. And I believe he was living in this hell we're in right now. Okay? And again, I'm not here to be political. I'm just saying we are in hell as a country when it comes to a lot of issues. The religious issue is really is in the cesspool. Political world is right there with it. and obviously our corporate world isn't helping any. So what do we do? How do we move forward? Well, we move forward as neo-thinkers. We move forward as individuals that understand integrated honesty. And let's stay with that word, everybody. Integrated honesty. Understanding what is real, what is important. And I look at it that I'm important as a Zon, you're important as a Zon. That is one of the reasons why I'm asking you, please get into the Zon mood and get into this mode. Be reading what I'm giving you. Now, for some of you, it is advanced. I know that. And we will be as gentle as possible. Believe me, we'll be gentle. But I want you to start to grow into it. We are in a very turbulent world today. I'll tell you, I've been around 67 years. This last few years has been the most turbulent, and maybe it is supposed to clean out the cesspool. Maybe that's draining the swamp. But I don't know about you, but I'm very stressed by draining the swamp. It's not making me feel warm and fuzzy. And we may have to just hang on to it. But as a neo-thinker, I can handle it because I don't dwell on it. I don't focus on it. And this is what Dr. Wallace tells us. So we're into the class now, everybody, and so I say that purposely because I'm giving you this intro. And I didn't even say hi to Charlie. Charlie, how are you? Good to have you on the call, but I'm on a roll. How you doing?
Hey, no.
Okay. All right. I really am, because this has been, I want to share to you that when you get stressed, when you get out of sorts, get to the literature. You can find answers in it. And everybody, you're not a follower when you read this material. You may want to call it your own Bible. I don't care. The literature has answers. Go to it and understand it. And remember one thing about Dr. Wallace's work, okay? Nothing to do with Mark Hamilton. He's terrific. But I want to just say that we're in Dr. Wallace's class, and that he created the future. He saw the future, and I believe that from the bottom of my heart. In the 90s and even in the 80s, I know he saw where we're going to be today, and he wrote for us. Now, that's an important lesson tonight, a learning tool. He wrote for us to handle the turbulent times we're in today. Okay? He did. And it's in the literature. I saw it today. I read it, and I'm going to go over it with you tonight. And he's saying, let it go. It's going to happen anyway. We're going into that whole black hole. And he talks about the black hole. It's going to happen. But you don't have to fall into it. I don't have to fall into it if we stay focused on our Neotech Integrated Honesty course. Neotech Integrated Honesty, fully integrated honesty. If we stay on that course, we will not fall into the hole. And we will come out the other side to the sea of you. So everybody tonight, fully integrated honesty should be at the top of your list. Now, you've heard it, you've read it, you've reread it, but I'm telling you, if we're going to move forward, and if we're going to develop, and we're going to get through this turbulent world, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because we've got leaders who are a bunch of liars and thieves and creeps and every other darn thing. And
you can include the 12 Visions Party with that. 12 Visions Party is full of crap. Bunch of dishonest, money-running people. So, honesty and the 12 Visions Party? I don't think so.
That can help us move forward. Are we being guided? We've been given a blueprint. So do you call that a guide? Miss Annabelle's a blueprint, so that's a guide, right? We're not that we're being told what to do, and this is a thin thread that we have to talk about. While I was thinking and reading this material, I said, okay, Fagin, as you know, I call myself that when I'm thinking, are you sounding like a follower? Are you just saying, Dr. Wallace told you, so therefore you have to do this? Dr. Wallace is your God. Dr. Wallace is your guide. Follow Dr. Wallace because you're a follower. I asked myself all those questions. And you know what I came up with? I'm a God man. I'm a good man. I'm an integrated man. I'm honest, sometimes to a fault. And I love living. And I'm going to add that to it. I love living. By me being stressed out by all this AC garbage and cesspool things and all that going on is only going to make me ill. Is only going to make me sick. And I'm here to be alive and well and feeling good, right? That's what we all are. So I'm using this as medicine. Now, am I justifying what I'm saying? I don't think so. Because I'm looking for information and words that seem to fit in my world or not. And by the way, it doesn't all fit in my world. There are things there that I don't agree with. But, you know, Dr. Wallace, and I will not use the word sacrifice, never used the word sacrifice for Dr. Wallace. He never sacrificed. He knew why he was on this planet. He developed as he got older, as we all know. That's how neotech came into play. He didn't do that early in life. But he knew what he had to contribute. I know what I have to contribute. Do you know what you have to contribute? That's my question to you. Do you know? Have you found your self-leadership skills and your Friday night essence? That's where we bring Mark Hamilton into the picture. And Dr. Wallace's writings are years of analysis, connecting into the universe, connecting into philosophers. In his class tonight, he talks about the power of Albert Einstein and his scientific...
I want you to notice how frustrated the mentor is right now. Listen to the tone of his voice. That is a severe sound of frustration. Am I wrong? I don't think so. That is severe frustration in his voice tonight on Thursday evening. So here we go.
Thinking as a neo-thinker. Tonight, you are a neotech neo-thinker, and that means you're in a Zon mentality. Now, for some of you who still giggle on the word Zon, it's okay. It's an odd name. It's bicameral in some people. People tell me that's mystical. It's not mystical. It's a term used, if you look at definitions of divine, mystic-free, honest, integrated. That's all part of Zon. Doesn't sound mystical to me, non-mystical. Zon is like you would use the word God. It's one syllable. It's intense. God was never been unusual to people because it's always been used. Zon is new to us. The term is new to us. So we have to get used to it. But the minute we understand it and get used to it, it rolls right off our back. But we won't disrespect it. We will not be disloyal. We will support it. We will love it. Because it's taking us to the sea of you. Now, you have to be a neo-thinker to believe this because you have to go through the lessons and the programs. I understand that. You know, I talk to people, as you know, I talk to people every day. I talked to a guy today, gentleman, very good gentleman. And basically, they're saying, he said to me about, he's newer in it. He's been in the shadows, as I tell you. They haven't been on any programs. And he still hasn't gotten it yet. It's still early. And he doesn't see yet how we're going to move into other levels because he doesn't understand about having to eliminate things to add new things. And you have to be careful with a new person because you don't throw in eliminating certain things to somebody who's fresh, new to the society because the changes are a little too much. We know religion's an issue. Even politics. We got major people who stand to certain levels in their politics. However, it is crucial for you and me on this call to escalate. You see, I'm saying escalate. Now, I could play nice, and we could just continue talking and reading all the nice little pages, and I'll say, okay, everybody, let's go to prosperity, and let's look at what your Friday night essence is, okay? And we got to find our Friday night essence, and I'm not belittling any of this. I'm just trying to talk to you that this is like a lower level. I consider Friday night essence at a lower level, only because I've been doing it for 10 years. So I'm kind of at a different level on that, but I'm not belittling it because it's phenomenal. We can't go anywhere without it, and I support it and I respect it. But I can't stay on that level all the time. You know, I'm on a balancing act with everybody because we do have some new people, and then we have members like myself who've been around. And if I just stay on that one level all the time, you're going to be bored because I'm not helping you grow. Well, I'm stretching you now, and I'm saying for the newer members, just put your seatbelt on and stay on the ride. You'll get it. And I'll tell you where it is in the literature. Don't worry, you'll get it. And you can go read it. And it is in the literature. I'm reading from I'm connecting from the Prime Discovery. So, with that intro, I want to get into some meat tonight of information that, again, I'm going to refer to. I have specific items that I'm going to ask you to please write down, and I will repeat it and go over it with you, and then we're going to dissect it. So tonight's lesson is material you're going to want to write down, and I'm going to ask you, don't wait for the recording. Just write this down. Get your pen and paper out, and then I'll tell you the pages, and then you can go to where it corresponds. And that's going to be integrated thinking. I'm not going to sit here and read these paragraphs. I will not do that to you. But I will give you content, and then I'll give you how they connect. That's mentoring to me. All right. I'm going to just bring Charlie up. Everybody knows Charlie Moore. I sort of just overstepped Charlie a little bit to make sure he was on his roll. And I want to just bring Charlie up to catch up with all of you and talk for a few minutes. Charlie, come on up.
Okay, I'm here.
There you are. You don't be so shy. You can talk anytime. Feel free.
I'm new here.
Well, you know me, how I get quiet and we have all these gaps, You jump in anytime.
The workshop was excellent. It really was. It was a great weekend. Met some new people, seen some old people. It was really, it's always good to get together with some people from the Earth. It can never hurt you. It only helps. And I think everybody went home happy. And that's the whole key. Home happy with more knowledge.
Yeah, I agree with you. Everybody went home, but they went home with good knowledge. The camaraderie was there. The networking was there. The knowledge was there. A lot of strong friendships. A lot of new people came. We had new people this month. It was good to see people within the last year who were there. So that was wonderful. I love that we met new members. It was great. So I too found it to be powerful.
Yeah. It was something different that we did it, and it worked. So we'll do it again.
You got it. And there's more things coming from that, so we'll talk about that down the road. But, Charlie, what do you think about this from Dr. Wallace saying, let go of the AC world and look towards the sea of you? What are your thoughts on that?
You have to. I mean, you don't have a choice. If you want to get to where you want to go, if you really want to start understanding all this, and if you want to put it into your life, we have to let go of the AC world as much as possible. You don't do it overnight. I think the best way to go is just like a gradual thing. And it was a couple of years ago when I realized I felt like I wasn't moving anymore, and I couldn't figure out why for a long time. And I realized I was still, I was watching too much news, and I was still involved in that AC world with that. And I said, no, I got to start cutting it out. I have not watched a newscast on TV in almost 2 years now. I go to a couple sites on the internet just to read it because I can't stand there's people reading the news to you because they're just a bunch of robots. So I just go to a couple sites. I spend maybe 15 minutes a day just to see what's going on. And that's about all I get. Now, once in a while I might go a little more, but on the whole, that's it for me as far as the political side. I don't get involved in anything that has to do with church or religion. That's just out of my life forever. I could care less about that. And then but you have to start, I always go back to that part in Miss Annabelle, just real quick, where Jake's sitting there, and all the students are there, and they're all famous and wealthy now, and he sat there and he says, it's amazing how they made their living, and they became rich and famous in the AC world. So what was the secret? And he thought about it for a while, and their secret was they never participated in the AC world, never. Yes, they worked in the AC world, they hired people in the AC world, they made their money from other people in the AC world, but they never participated in what other people did. And that's the difference. And that's what we have to do. We still have to deal with the AC, but we don't have to participate in it. And when you stop participating is when you really, really, really start moving here, and you start to get full. of integrations and knowledge, and you feel better, and now you found your essence, and now you're doing this, and now you're doing that. Ask anybody who went to this workshop this past weekend. We spent the whole weekend in the Sea of You. It's a wonderful way to spend some time. I tell you, it's absolutely like I didn't want to get in the car Sunday and go back to the AC world. You know, I didn't want to pay that toll anymore. But we're not there yet. But that just don't participate. And I'll stop it there, Steve.
Thank you, Charlie. Okay, let's get started. On becoming a Zon, Dr. Wallace says that most human beings among Earth's anti-civilization will encounter fully integrated honesty. All right. Most conscious beings. Now, what does that mean? How do we get to be conscious? Most of you will get this. Some of you may not. We've been born Zons, right? We all were born little baby Zons. We had the enthusiasm. We had the honesty in us. We had the love. We had all the enthusiasm for life. And then we got into religion. We got into school. We got into peer pressure. We got into school pressure. We got into teacher pressure. You ought to act like this. You ought to be like this. You ought to do things like this. You ought to act like the robot that I'm going to tell you to be. You are robotic. You are a parasite. You're a bobblehead. And in the sense of teaching and all, we start becoming inhibited. We start going into religious cultures. We start going with guilt. We start taking less control of ourselves. We start learning how to manipulate. We start learning how to use people. Okay? That is all parasitical believing, and it's all anti-civilization believing. Now, bicameral's follower. We do get caught into that bicameral mentality because we stop making choices. As a conscious human being, we know that we can make choices, good or bad. We can be value creators. We can be value destroyers. Now, the AC world does a great job for us to be destroyers because we never find our finite essence. And I will tell you this, and I know I've been debated by this by other members, that if you're not finding your finite essence, or if you find it and you don't use it, you're a value destroyer. Now, blasphemy to me, how dare you? It says this. You have to be, and I said this, it's in the literature. I didn't make this up. You're not creating values to the world through your finite essence, and you're coasting. You're destroying. You're not adding, you're destroying. You don't think all those political jerks aren't destroying? You know, and I'm embarrassed. I elected some of those idiots. I can't believe I did it, but it won't happen again. But the key is, are we bicameral? Are we conscious? Conscious means I make a choice. I'm a value creator. I'm a value destroyer. Now, that's the reality. You can sugarcoat it all you want. You can put lipstick on it. You can put jewelry on it. You can color code it. It's still either value destruction or value creation. Period. The way it is. Put a lot of perfume on it. As they say, a pig is a pig. You have to look at this. Now, I'm talking very directly because I'm trying to help you grow. I want to shock you. I want you to be out mad. I don't care. You can be mad. You can be as mad as hell at me as you want. I don't care. At least I'm getting a reaction. I'll take the reaction. And as a mentor tonight, I want you to react. Respond, really, not react. Let me be very clear with my words. When we react without thinking. So let's not react. I want you to, and by the way, you probably are reacting, so don't. So I'm going to tell you, stop it. If you're reacting right now to what I'm saying, blah, 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 stop being a bicameral person. That's bicameral. That's bobblehead. Respond. Hear what I have to say. Look up what a value creator is and what a value destroyer is. And I will tell you, if you've got your finite essence and you understand it, and you're still not using it, you are a value destroyer because you know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it. Is it laziness? Is it fear? Is it ignorance? What is it? Okay? And I want you to think. So, yeah, I'm going to get a reaction out of you because I know I got one last year at the summit. People were upset with me that I said, well, just because I'm not using my finite essence doesn't mean that I don't care. I don't care if you don't care. You act. You can, number one, conscious beings on Earth, That means a person who is aware of who they are, connected to who they are, and they make choices. So he says, conscious beings among Earth's civilization will encounter fully integrated honesty. I believe, unless you are conscious, and if you're still in bicameral, you don't have the brain power to understand fully integrated honesty. Because you haven't developed your brain, you're probably at 1%. And you're just coasting through life like a real bobblehead. Or are you going to be doing your own level? This is very important. Conscious beings, anti-civilization, fully integrated honesty. Write those terms down. Okay? We're, as a Zon, as these are being Zons, we are living in the anti-civilization. And here's another term that I used a few months ago and I'm going to bring back tonight. Mystical bubble. Put the term mystical bubble down. Put that on the left. Put your fully integrated honesty information on the right. And compare the two. Mystical bubble means that you're in that AC world. You don't want to make any choices. You're going to let the AC world, the priests are going to tell you what to do. The congregations are going to tell you what to do. The music's going to tell you what to do. The preachers are going to tell you what to do. The services are going to tell you what to do. The president's going to tell you what to do, and he's going to do it whether you like it or not. You're going to have all the congressmen, senators. They're going to tell you what to do. You'll keep getting your taxes raised, and you'll just go, oh, all right. Guess they know better. They know better. Yeah, they know better to get in your pockets. That's the mystical bubble. Because you're just sitting there, and you roll around. Remember that movie, The Boy in the Bubble? That's what you'll do. You'll be rolling around the bubble. And guess what? People are rolling around right now. So that's the mystical bubble. So, parasitical, bicameral, anti-civilization, mystical bubble. Zon, and I'm putting you right there, God-man to Zon. Fully integrated honesty, you're going to live an eternal life. You think you're going to hit biological immortality and not believe you're a Zon? Stop fooling yourselves. Unless you blow your Zon power and you're all, I don't care, you can talk biological immortality. Oh, I'm going to live to 130, I'm going to live to 160. You're going to die. You're not going to live to that because you're all words. It's all words. We got to stop talking words. We got to start taking action. Dr. Wallace literally, I don't want to say died for us, but he literally always took action. Even when he was in jail, he was writing, he was developing, he was growing. Now that's a person I look up to because he never stopped taking action. He didn't sit there and say in jail, you know, when I get out, we're working this way. He wrote, he concentrated, he worked. He had his son come in with him. He never stopped working. He didn't sit there and go, yeah, I'm sure he up there and he was depressed. Don't get me wrong. We're human beings. Of course that's going to come up. I'm not naive. But he still had his work. He had Zephany. You see, that's an important thing. Did any of you ever think about that? No matter how terrible it was that it was in jail, which is horrendous. I don't even want to think about how bad it is, but I am thinking of it as a realistic man. It's a bad scene. But he had his Friday night essence. And you know, I look at it that he was able to get through, which he did get through, because he had his Friday night essence. And if that's not a good example why you need to have your Friday night essence, I don't know what is. Dr. Wallace's trials in jail and his whole, the trial, the jail, the whole, he still had his F&E. And he went through hell. Okay, if you believe in hell, I don't, but he went through that concept of hell. And this is important to know. He always had his Friday night essence. He always had his honesty. What did he say when he wanted to put in what honesty is versus truth? Truth is bad. Truth is manipulative. Truth is that, you know, looking with all the tentacles versus the one directive, which is honesty. So, integrated honesty. Being a conscious human being. Many of us have failed. Not us on this call, but others. Now, I've been here 11 years. I can't even put it on my hands anymore how many people have left. I've got to use, I need a lot of hands. People have left emotionally. People may have left because they had anger. People left because they were envious. People left because of the God issue. People left because they couldn't afford a book. Yeah, we had people just couldn't afford a book and they didn't buy it. We had people left because they wouldn't get involved. People left because they didn't read. People left because they believed the first letter and everything was supposed to come out of the sky. Just come out of the sky. Here, I got the book in my hand. Where's all the millions? Why am I not winning the lottery? Let's play poker. Never played poker before, but I got a book, so now I can play poker. And I can win the lottery. Pie in the sky. Forces of nature. Think about it. Marx says to you and me in the letters, I will show you how to be prosperous, reach happiness, romantic love, etc. However, he doesn't put in the letter, you got to eliminate the God factor. Because nobody would come. Nobody would understand what that means. You got to move into a Zon mentality. Who's going to come when you see that word? Probably I wouldn't have either. He had to write the letter to get my attention to attend and get a book. It's called Forces of Nature. He's not going to write in there, the universe. You're going to go to the civilization of the universe. Yeah, right. Who the heck's writing this nonsense? That's how you would look at it. But we get it. We get this. We understand it. Marx said we're going to get prosperity, happiness, romantic love, and eternal life. But he's saying you've got to do it in a mystic-free, conscious, integrated mentality, eliminating the illusion of a God, eliminating heaven, getting a new political world, and building entrepreneurship. Right there. How many people would have come into there by the book if they said, we're going to show you prosperity, but you got to let go of God. God's out the door. The political world's got to be destroyed. We're going to destroy it. Get your prosperity. How many people would get this? He had to write as forces of nature to touch into our child of the past. Do you see? Because what I'm going to tell you tonight, I can't tell to a new member. I can't tell to somebody who hasn't brought a book because they'll freak. And Dr. Wallace calls it blasphemous. You're blaspheming. He writes it right in the literature by saying there's no God. Blasphemer. Oh my God, stone him. But he says it is coming from people who wanted to control others. So they made up the concept of a God and a creator. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. So focus on this. Think where I'm at. Calm down. Get a glass of water if you need it. Stay with me on the ride. Put your seatbelt on. We are going through higher and higher ground. And you cannot move forward in your airplane to higher ground unless you have to take breaths from time to time. You understand? And tonight you are, because you're going to higher ground. I'm bringing you to higher ground tonight. Ignoring the world around you. Not being an idiot, but understanding what's going on in the politics of today is not your concern. It's going to happen anyway. You cannot change whether Kavanaugh gets in or not. That is done by another group of people. And if you're putting energy and all to try to change it, you are literally just hitting a wall. It's already being manipulated through others. Okay? The concentration of all of the, the abortion issues, all this stuff, I started realizing I got to let go of it. Because I have a mission. I have a journey. You all have a journey. Whether you like Trump or not, it doesn't matter. He is there. It is what it is. Will it change? Will it get better? Will it get worse? We'll have to wait it out and see. In the meantime, you get better as a Zon. You get more ingrained as a Zon. You prepare to help change the world as we move forward. Dr. Wall says we're going through the threshold. You can either be destroyed or you can be mighty and grow. You have to decide. But we're in the threshold right now. And I'm growing forward and moving forward. I'm not here as the AC Republican, Democrat, or any of that stuff. I'm not here as that. I'm not here as a Catholic or any of that garbage. I'm here as a conscious, integrated, mystic-free man, or going forward from mystic-free, who is building Neothink, building entrepreneurships, teaching you, and mentoring you. That's what I'm here. I may be a little unethical. I may be a little out there, but I'm not. Because I know sitting next to me is Dr. Wallace and His Highness, and I know I'm getting the message of Dr. Wallace to each and every one of you.
Steve Fagan only mentors
Because
when he wants
this
to
message
mentor.
has to be understood.
He's only a good
I'm not
mentor
forcing
when
you
he
to.
wants
You
to be a
decide.
good mentor.
Once you get this
Otherwise,
info, then I'll tell
he
you what
likes
to
to
read.
be
You
lazy
make the
on
decision.
Tuesday nights.
You decide. This is your journey. You can be, as he said, conscious beings and are going to learn, encounter fully integrated honesty. You're going to take it or leave it. Tonight, you're encountering fully integrated honesty. And you'll make the decision whether or not you will accept it or leave it. Some of you will leave. Some of you will grow with it. Hopefully most of you. But it's a change. Okay. Dr. Wallace says the following, and I'm going to evolve this. Apply fully integrated honesty within our Earth's anti-civilization. You're the role model. Now, you don't have to go out there and say, go on a picket line or anything like that. You don't do that. You apply just honesty, integration, your growth, and it will be shown to you. People will notice it. Quiet power. Remember the quiet power? We haven't talked about that in a while. Dr. Wallace was quiet power. Listen, answer directly, and move forward. You're going to move from our neotech mentality, which is what we're in tonight, to the civilization of the universe. That's the key. Now, fellow Zons, please listen closely to this. Dr. Wallace announces in the Boundless Prosperity, which is part of the Prime Discovery, the AC or anti-civilization world will vanish into nothingness as they see the power of Zon. It's going to switch over. For you see, you may think we're hitting a wall. We're hitting a pinnacle to the next level. We had a great workshop. We have a new idea for new programs next year. I think 2019 will be a transition year for us. By 2020, the 2020s are going to be that whole 10 years. Neo-think. I've always said to you, I see 2030. Remember me? 2030, we're going to see a world of entrepreneurship. We're going to see a world of neo-thinkers. We're going to see a world of science. We're going to see a world of health. And I even believe the 12 Business Party will be actively involved by that point. 2030, it will be, but we will be on the climb over the next 10-year period in the 20s. I see it. I develop it. It's like almost being on an escalator. If it happens earlier, terrific. But that's the decade. The 2020s is the neo-think decade. We've been preparing for it. Be ready. Start analyzing. You look at 2030 and see the world we are living in. The homes, the businesses, the health. Many people in here are talking. A lot of you who are older, you will have reached 100 by that point. Think of that. That will be breakthroughs. That's very cool. So remember that. The AC world will vanish into nothingness, and they will experience the power of universe, the power of Zon. Within the power of Zon, all things throughout the universe will become non-mystical, conscious thoughts. This is very important. I've been talking a little bit here. All things, excuse me, all things throughout the universe can become non-mystical conscious thoughts. Non-mystical. We'll get rid of the guilt. We're going to get rid of the fears. We're going to get rid of the manipulation. We're going to get rid of the backstabbing. It's all going to go. And it's going to be love, growth, programs, businesses, health, good health, universal connections, and the non-mystical conscious thoughts can become all things that are throughout the universe. So all conscious thoughts, non-mystical, will become all things. So the transition over from mystical thoughts and actions will then move into non-mystical conscious thoughts. You see? Mystical thoughts and actions will be vanishing and taking over by the non-mystical conscious thoughts. Not the bobblehead thoughts, the conscious making a decision. Universal constant of the Zon will be the way of the world. That's why I'm bringing Zon in now, because I want you to be prepared to have that mentality and these lessons in your docket. This lesson tonight is a very important lesson. You're not only hearing emotional, you're hearing objective, you're hearing facts. It's a mixture of all three. Okay, Charlie, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. I'm just going to grab a glass of water. But there's plenty to talk about.
A lot of action. Thanks, Steve.
No problem.
I am a Zion. How many people in this call have said that to themselves and believed it? And believe it. Every morning I wake up and I do this little affirmation. It takes me like 30 seconds. And the first thing I say to myself is, I'm a Zion. I am a Zion. I'm doing that for about 2 years. It's something that I believe in, and I don't see how any of us can grow if you don't believe that. As I said, I start to separate from the AC world, and you have to do that. So let's look at the AC world for a second. What keeps you there? What do you still like to do in that AC world? Do you like to follow the politics? Do you like to watch those news? Do you like to get upset by it? Because it does. Politics do stimulate us. But if that's the reason why you do it, more than likely that is the reason, because that's why people get so involved in it, because it's a stimulation. Think about something that you can do to get that stimulation from you instead of from the outside world. Find your essence. There's your stimulation. There's your exhilaration. There's your Zion sitting right there. If you don't believe that, I mean, because anything in this AC world, it's going to be total opposite in the sea of you. So all the things that you like in the AC world, think about this the next couple of days. What are some of the things in this AC world that you can't break away from yet? You just haven't been able to do it yet. Look at those things and say, all right, what would be the opposite of that? So let's say that you'd like to go to a casino and gamble. All right? We all have done it. But you go at least once a week, or you go twice a week, or whatever it is, and you really love doing it. Even though you're losing money and you're wasting time, but sometimes you do win. So think of what would be the opposite of that. How about if you had that money that you lost and that you put it into yourself? Just look at the complete opposite of what you're doing now and say, is it worth it staying in this AC world for that? You know, I read an article today, and my mind's always thinking about the future and where we can go. And the headline was, babies born today have a very good shot of living for 1,000 years. Said, all right, and I read the article and why they believe that. But that's such an AC approach to it. There's no vision in that statement. Let's think about that. 1,000 years. So now it's the year 3000, and people are turning 1,000 years old. Don't you think, if anybody had the vision, that if you were going to live to be 1,000, don't you think by then biological immortality would be in? That's the problem with the AC world. There's no visionaries. Yes, people are looking into it, but how can we say that we're going to live to 1,000 and then die then? Are you crazy? We have 1,000 years of technology behind us by now. If we aren't in the sea of you by then, I don't think we ever will be. It's all how you look at it. It's all how you feel. It's all about your desire to be that Zon. You have the Zon in you. We all do. From the day we came out, we're there. We are a Zon baby. They ripped that right out of us. And they ripped out everything else that was good in us. Now, do you want to take it back or not? Do you want to be that person that you always wanted to be? Think about, again, why you came here. Why did you buy these books? You are coming across, like, if you're ever around track and the track goes around in that circle, right, and then you come around that stretch, well, you should be able to see the finish line. But do you have the guts to get there? Do you have the stamina to get there? Do you love yourself that much to finish? Because I imagine most of us who came here never finished a thing in our lives. That's why we all came here. We weren't happy. I sure as hell wasn't. And now I look at that as all those years I've wasted. But yes, we all have wasted those years. But do you want to waste the years that we have left if we don't get to the sea of you? So if they're saying now that we can live to be, at least 1,000 years old, which means something's around the corner. And I'm going to scramble and I'm going to do anything I can to stay alive as long as I can. Because right now, give me another 10 years. And in those 10 years, now at that point, they probably can give me another 20 years. And then at that point, maybe they can give me another 100. And I'll just keep going, and I'll keep going, and I'll keep going until I'm there. That's how you have to look at it, but only if you want it. But it's all about being that honest person, that fully integrated honesty. Think about that phrase. And are you living that? Are you trying to live that? Or do you never even think about it? And be honest with yourself. These are the we have to start changing our mentality. Yeah, everybody starts laughing when somebody says this is on Joe or something, okay? But really, it's not a joke. We might be uncomfortable with it now, but do you really believe that you are or not? And that's what we have to really look at. There's no sense on us moving, to give you a perfect example, and I'm just going to lay it on the line. I thought this past weekend was absolutely great. It was so good to be up there teaching this again because we hadn't done it in a year. But I put something out there, just to test my theory, and damn it, I was right, and I was hoping I was wrong. I was saying that when I had the prime lit call, and about a year or so ago, Juanita and myself did all 12 visions. It took us, I don't know how many months to go through it all. And we have all these questions from each vision, all right? So I said, I apologize that I can't cover all 12 today because of time. I mean, Christ, for me to really go into the 12 visions with people like that live, I need a week, not just 2 hours. So I said, but I can make it up to you in a way. Go home, sit down, write me an email and say, Charlie, I want to get all the questions from the prime lit call for the 12 visions. All right? 60 people was at this workshop. You know how many people actually sent me an email this week to get all 12 visions? 3. 3 people. I would have been happy. I was thinking I'd probably get about 10. I wasn't even close to that. 3 people out of 60 people said that they wanted to get the 12 visions so that they could study it more. That's a disgrace. And I'm sorry to the people who came, but I am really, really upset about this. That's why we're not moving. Make the damn commitment. Tell yourself that you want to be a Zion, that I am a Zion, and then prove it. Start working this information. If you've been here more than 6 months and you don't have your Friday night essence, shame on you. There is no reason why you shouldn't have your Friday night essence by now. Obviously, it's not that important to you. Obviously, your life is not that important to you, so I don't even know why you're here. But this is getting pretty bad when I watched every time I go online and I read what's happening in the news, I sit there and I shut that off after about 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops most days, and I sit there and I'm grateful. I am so grateful that I am where I am with NeoThink. I am so grateful that I am not participating in that world anymore. How much time have we wasted before we came to Neothink, on this AC world with politics and religion, just those two things alone, how many hours and how many days and how many years did we waste listening to these people who could care less about us, and yet we listen and we vote for him and we cheer him, and oh, man, he's good and he's good and he's not and he's not. It's bullshit. And we wasted all that time. Imagine, so now if you're still doing that, start out with taking half of that time that you waste on that and put it into yourself. Read the books. Start doing this for yourself. And then guess what? Within 2-3 months, you start feeling like what? Hey, Zon. Yes, I am a Zon. Now I believe it. That's what you because you have to wake up in the mornings and say, you know, what's my mini day today? What am I going to accomplish today? What am I going to learn today? That's how we have to wake up. We don't wake up and the first thing we do is put on the news, oh, man, that son of a gun, man, I just hate that guy. I hate that congressman. I hate that senator. Why are you wasting your time on that? Because time is all we have for now. Time is our precious commodity that we have. Why? Because we're still in this AC world. We're all going to die as of today. So are you going to waste your time on other people's lives, or are you going to spend quality time fixing yours? It's your choice. Now, I made the choice to really understand this information. I've been reading this information for 10.5 years. I still enjoy reading it. I never get tired of reading it. I never get tired of learning it. And I love teaching it. It's what one of my essences are. I'm living in essence. I can't believe that after I came here when I was 57 years old. I never even knew what the hell an essence was. And now I'm living it. All because I said I got to separate from that AC world. I can't stand it anymore. And it's hard because it's so intertwined in our souls. It's there from the day that we come out of our mother, for God's sake, and it's still there today because they have. We are supposed to take iron grip control. That's how we change our lives. Well, right now they have that iron grip control in our lives, and we let them do it. So you must stop and take that power back and say, you know what? I'm going to run my life. I got iron grip control because you have one thing that they never have, and they will never have it, and they will never understand it. You have fully integrated honesty. That's the most powerful tool you have. And with that, Steve, I'll send it back to you. Steve, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, okay, can you hear me? All right. Yeah, this is what Charlie said. You have consciousness. You can either choose to be a value creator or a value destroyer. That's your choice. And this is what it is.